Hello, everyone. Welcome if you are new to the channel, and welcome back if you love me. I love you too. We're here for a mirror reading. And to be fair, Scorpio, I can't get your sign out of my head either. So I am locked and loaded with thumbnails to do a Scorpio reading next. I'm sure Capricorn's going to shortly follow because that energy is pinging at me as well. Plus, it is officially Capricorn season tomorrow for Yule. Many Yule blessings to all of you celebrate Yule. But I was going to do a mirror reading first. So we're going to see what comes out, especially because looking at the cosmos, literally like as of right now, given the message is timeless, so whenever you catch it, you catch it. But as of right now, Lilith is in Leo, direct, trine Mars and Sag, trine the moon in Aries. So there's a fire trine going on between the moon, Mars, and Lilith, who is also exact squaring the Venus-Uranus opposition going on in Scorpio and Taurus, right? Venus is in Scorpio, Uranus is in Taurus. They're all at 19 degrees. So while Lilith is getting this lovely three-way trine going on in fire, she's integrating, or at least challenging, the integration of both Venus and Uranus going on in very feminine water earth signs. I feel like, and I'll say this before I get into pineapple charming and all of that, and given, guys, there's going to be timestamps in the comments and in the description wherever you're more familiar with finding them, so you can fast forward to whatever part you want to fast forward to once the live is done, if you catch the replay. But this energy, Venus and Uranus in opposition, brings what could essentially be the radical shift of reality with the incoming energy of past life, right? Scorpio, past life, magical love connections, okay, with the Venus energy there. Ride or die type energy, right? Scorpio Venus is a ride or die energy. It is more ride or die than Cancer. Cancer, don't get mad at me for saying that. I'm a Cancer moon and rising. But Scorpio Venus takes the cake with ride or die energy. So having that energy potentially radically come in like a flash, like lightning, you've probably been feeling it over the course of the last week or two, intensifying as Venus has, gotten closer and closer to this opposition. And you're going to continue to see how that unfolds over the next couple weeks, especially once Mercury does go back direct at the end of, this year or early next year, right? The challenge would be with the Lilith energy there, who, and I keep hearing Britney Spears, I got that boom, boom that you want. Boom, boom, boom. Don't you look so sexy? Oh my God. So with the moon in Aries, who could be flaring up all kinds of emotional desires, right? That we would feel an emotional connection to people that we're sexually attracted to. It could definitely, especially with Mars and Sag, want to bang the whole weekend. Right? There's this energy where Lilith is like, fuck all, you know what I mean? Like, let's bang all weekend. Boom, 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 right? So you got to kind of watch, because that energy is probably the most beneficial. The challenge would be liberating yourself in the action-oriented drive of the moon, which is independence, and remembering the importance of self and the goals the self has in the long run when it comes to healthy relationships. Because to be fair, as ride or die as Venus Scorpio is, it can also be a real magnet for toxic relationships, right? We tend to stick around in them beyond their expiration dates. So keep it in mind, because the sexual attraction is probably really strong and mutual. And you're probably being sexually attracted to the right partner, okay? They are probably your past life soulmate who has radically come into the reality. The challenge is not letting it burn up and burn out too fast, right? Having all of this hot fire, bang energy come in, only for it to fizzle out as fast as it started, right? It has the potential to be really, really purging, right? Fire purges the soul, and it can purge past mistakes with the Mars and Sag. The things that we do right now can really reinvent the heart space, reinvent the feminine, right, with the moon in Aries, and really liberate, right, liberate old wounds and ego, liberate the shadow that's afraid to give too much, because there's kind of this mirrored pouring with whoever it is that's coming in. And so it's almost like you don't want to quite be distracted by the very primal urge to have sex and have lots of it, right? Because that energy, the fire, right? The fire between Aries and Mars and Lilith is really hot and intense in a super sexy way. But you can get carried away, right? You can get carried away. So keep it in mind. Whoever you're sexually attracted to, more than likely, is also just as sexually attracted to you. And it's probably kept secret, to be completely fair. While Venus is still in Scorpio, it's probably a secret, but intense. So once Venus hits Sag, that might switch up quite a bit, especially once Mercury does go direct. So be patient. It's Sag's forte. Be patient. Be in your light attributes, right? Light attributes. Let's not repeat toxic. Okay, we've all been there, done that, and it's not it's not worth repeating, right? We learned the lessons, and that's good enough. So with that said, this mirror reading, I do want to preface with, because those of you who resonate as divine counterparts or twin flames, this is going to be really specific for your dynamic, to be completely fair. And I'm not talking about with the person that you do or have for a very long time identified with your counterpart. I really do want to get away from that. And not because they're not your counterpart, but because the lessons being learned are grossly misunderstood. And so is the dynamic shift between the two. There's different facets of our counterparts and everybody that we connect with on a very spiritual, soul-based level. And so what we can't heal directly with our counterparts due to our own free will, we're going to be healing through facets with other people. So love and space held for all of our true counterparts out there. But I don't actually want to get hung up on the specific dynamic shift that we have with them in this particular reading. If you guys want me to go deeper into the actual workings, the cogs and stuff of twin flame mirror dynamic shifts, then I could do that in a different video. But this is going to be reading the mirror lesson between you and who is in your immediate reality right now, and or who is connecting with you energetically right now, okay, whether they are or aren't in your physical space. So let's focus in the present, right? The future tends to work itself out divinely if you just stay in flow and trust spirit. So let's focus on where we are right now, okay? I did give Pineapple Charming a really good shake off camera. And for those of you who are not familiar, let me timestamp this before I get too ahead of myself. For those of you not familiar with Pineapple Charming is a synchronicity discernment charm pineapple. Okay, he has over 1,000, well over 1,000 charms inside of him to help you with your discernment. We tend to force readings to fit. We can get easily addicted to social media, YouTube, tarot readings, and try and make everything fit and resonate with us. And one, it's not healthy, and not every reading collective message is for you, right? That's what personal readings are for. But collective messages, I really wanted to make sure that people knew a message was for them or not, so that they can just sit back and enjoy the message for what it is, take from it whatever they want to take from it if they don't resonate to any of the charms, or really pay attention and maybe watch it over a couple times if they know that Spirit is trying to get a message to them via the charms, right? So that you can actually focus on what you need to focus on and just kind of enjoy the ASMR of me bullshitting about whatever Spirit has come out, you know? So definitely take them as they resonate with you. Leave them if they don't. The whole entire message may pertain to you and your dynamic ship specifically. You may simply be guided to watch this reading for just one thing that I say, and everything clicks because you have that moment, right? So use what is in your highest good to take with you, okay? Leave the rest for someone else. If one or more of the charms resonates with you, there's something in here for you, okay? So let's see. Let's see. Anything I say once I start pulling charms could be synchronistic. So, like I said, we're getting a lot of charms. All right, Spirit. So take it as it resonates, guys. All right. All right, that feels good. If I start pulling too many, I'm like, Spirit, you're going to make me nervous. Is it going to be that kind of a reading? My God. All right. So let's see. We've got scuba gear. So you may have a memory scuba diving with whoever you believe your counterpart is. You may have been doing that recently. Like, you may have done it in general. Okay, because not everybody has gone scuba diving. I know my ass has never gone scuba diving. So it just may be synchronistic for you if you've gone diving, or if you do it habitually, if it's your thing. We've also got, I don't know why I also just heard the aquarium. I know that's not typical with scuba diving, but maybe that is synchronistic for some of you. All right, we've also got 444. So 444 may be a very synchronistic pattern for you. It may be very important for you. These, I don't know why I'm being drawn to military training, but there might also be some military training that involves being underwater for long periods of time, or scuba gear or something like that. So I don't know. Spirit just guides me to what it does. I don't ask questions. I just report. So we also have a Dalmatian. We've got our Dalmatian charm. You may just simply have a dog with spots. All right. We've also got an iron, a hot iron, like for clothes. It's old school. That's an old school iron. We also have the bat is back. So echolocation, right? Seeing in the dark, telepathy. Also hanged man energy, to be completely fair, because the bat does hang upside down. We also have a turtle. And it's a sea turtle, but as soon as I picked it up, I thought of the big, what was it, Mora? The big turtle in the Never-Ending Story, the one in the swamp. That turtle. I don't know why that's synchronistic, but it is. We also have a lovely reindeer. So that may be synchronistic for you as well, especially if you are seeing them out and about. It is the season. You might be hearing them on your roof for Christmas, you know. It's that time of year right now, too. We've also got the mermaid. This one specifically always reminds me of Ariel, the Little Mermaid, just because the shape of it. We also have a castle. So between being, you know, in that Ariel Little Mermaid vibe in the castle, Disney might be synchronistic for you. You may have a lot of memories in Disneyland or Disney World or live right near it, right? We've also got the sheep and or the ram, depending on how you look at that charm. So I'm more inclined to say lamb right now, just because of how close it is to Christmas. More like Christ consciousness type stuff. Could definitely be Aries too. Could also be the golden fleece, because I was just drawn to that. We've also got a bee. Okay. As well as a glass of red wine. Okay. We have a little bird sitting on a branch. You may be a bird watcher or just enjoy watching the birds. Okay. We also have our measuring tools. So rulers, protractors type stuff. You may use them for your profession or on a regular basis if you're a creative type person. Whether you work with wood or fabric or whatever it is you do, art. We've also got a rose or tulip. I guess it could be a tulip too. Okay. We've got a golden heart and a heart within a heart. It just reminded me of the Grinch, whose heart grew so many sizes, right? Because it was like one heart inside of another. We've also got the dove of peace. Which is super cool, because I was just mailing out cards today and they had the dove of peace on them. It was like peace to the world. Peace on earth. We've also got our RN charm. So you may be an RN or specifically or work in the medical field in general. All right. We've got a lollipop. And I just heard from the Wizard of Oz, the Lollipop King. Maybe synchronistic. I'm also seeing Candyland board game. Well, it's been a while since I played that game, but I love Candyland. I'm the shit. I'm the shit at that game. Fucking rock that game. I've also got the White Crown that came back out. Last time this came out, I think it was the last reading it came out. I was pinged to Alice in Wonderland. Anne Hathaway's, right? The White Queen. I've also got the World card. So Saturn, which is in Pisces right now, but also fixed sign energy. So Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. We've also got the Moon card, which is in Aries right now as of present. It could also be Pisces or Cancer. And we've got the Star card, Uranian energy. So Taurus again, could also be Aqua. Shooting stars could also be synchronistic for you as well. Hey, Mequin, how you doing? So nice to see you. Now I've got the tea charm. Now this, I swear, I have taken this tea out because it's not technically a charm. I don't even know where it came from. It ended up in Pineapple Charming, and I'm pretty fucking sure I have thrown it out like 4 times already. And for whatever reason, it keeps showing back up inside Pineapple Charming. So we've got a letter T. Okay. Literally. I don't know where the heck it's from. It's not a fucking charm. But it keeps ending up in Pineapple Charming. No matter how many times I have sworn I have taken it out and thrown it away. It was originally like a silverish color, and I guess because I keep shaking it, it's slowly all the silver's coming off. It's so bizarre. I don't know. Maybe T is an initial or a nickname, and you feel like you're being stripped off your armor, right? Because armor is silver, that metal color. So the T is for you. There you go, Kathy. Yeah, it identifies as a charm. It identifies as a charm. So I'm fucking leaving it in there. Maybe it'll fuck off. I don't know. We've also got 3 micro playing cards. Yeah, it's officially a fucking charm now. I've thrown it out so many times. So many times. All right, we've also got the 6 of spades, the 8 of spades, and the 10 of pentacles. It's the 10 of diamonds. All right, the spades are the suit of swords. That's their equivalent in tarot. And then we've got the diamonds, which is the pentacles. So this could be wanting to move forward, but feeling really fucking trapped in a living situation or family situation. Wanting to get out of whatever that situation is. Because the 8 of swords is a mental prison. That 8 of spades. And the 6 of spades is wanting to get out of whatever is turbulent, right? Emotionally turbulent so that the mind can calm down. This is someone in search of peace. So they might be dealing with a family situation or a living situation in general. That they do not want to be in. Okay. Now I've got a lot of fucking beads here. So let me pull the signs out first. Because these could be any of your big 3, or you could just know and resonate that you have a certain placement there. Okay, like a Jupiter or a node or something. I know we're going to end up doing fucking Capricorn. If y'all don't know your chart, you can always shoot me your birth details via email, like your birthday, birth time, birth location, and I will at least send you a screenshot of your chart so that you can look at it. I'll type it into my Astro Gold app. I've never had any problem doing that for anybody who wanted it. So, you know, if that's what if you want to start familiarizing yourself with your chart, you can do that. Or you can do things like Cafe Astrology or AstroDice or something like that, right? You can look up free birth chart and I'll show you. Okay. So signs. I've got triple Capricorn. Okay. So you could be born in that generation where there was like Uranus and Pluto and all whatever the fuck else. And Capricorn, what was it? I think it was Uranus, Neptune. There was something else in there. It's going to bother me if I don't look, so I'm going to look. I'll go fucking nuts. I'll figure it out. It was like late 80s, 90s or some shit. Yeah, 95 had Capricorn stelliums. It was that whole duration, because anytime you had Cap season or the moon or something going through Cap, there were 3 majors in there because Neptune and Uranus were in there. So if you've got triple Capricorn, you've got a Capricorn stellium, this would be significant for you. If you've got super significant for you, if you've got just straight up 1 or 2 majors or big 3 Capricorns, then it also applies. Okay. I've got double Pisces. So you may have double Piscean placements, whether that is like a Pisces moon, Pisces north node, Pisces moon, Pisces rising, right? Pisces sun, Pisces Jupiter, Pisces Venus, right? You might have 2 significant Piscean placements. I've also got double Virgo. So definitely could have the Pisces Virgo polarity with the nodes, or be dealing with oppositions in those 2 houses with your chart. But double Virgo, okay. I've also got Sag, Aries, and Libra, okay. So you may also have significant placements in those 3 signs as well. Now, the letters. I got a lot of letters. Okay. So we're going to be spelling out a lot of words. And it might take a while. So, for those of you not familiar with the letters, they are color-coded for people who need it that kind of specific. Some people can resonate to 10, 12 fucking charms and still be telling Spirit they don't believe it. And then Spirit literally spells their fucking name. Okay, or gives me their initials in the right color, right? The gender that they identify as, or the energy they identify as. So for people who need it that specific, that's what the colors are for. For everybody else, please do not get hung up on the colors, okay? Blue is for boys. Pink is for girls. It doesn't matter to me what you resonate as. It just needs to make sense to you, between you and you. Yin and yang are black and white. So feminine dominant is yin, that's black. And then yang dominant, masculine dominant is white. Okay. Now I've got C and I've got X in blue. Okay. So Charles, Christian, Xavier, right? Any type of C names, Chuck, Callie. It was funny because I was talking about how one of the options for when I was naming my son was Caliber. And his nickname would have been Callie, right? Given he's Kevin. But yeah, C names, Calvin, and X names. Okay. We've also got in pink, we've got Q, which has been making an appearance, right? First, middle, or last name, doesn't matter. We've got Q, S, and I. All right, so Q, S, I in pink. So Quinn, Quigley, Quentin, Sarah, Isabel, whatever last names you all got out there. Okay, Q, S, and I. For black, I've got R, O, B. So your name might literally be Rob, Robert, Roberta, Robertson. Okay. Robinson, RONB. Okay, for black, that is yin. So that's feminine regardless of gender, right? Feminine dominant. It's a person who receives the experience, who knows they're receiving the experience that someone else is choosing or creating. Okay. And then for white, I've got another Q. I've got S, right? So another S, M, T, F, and E. All right. So let's see. Letters. Words. I've got the word 6. And short of a Y, I've got 60. So you may have been born in the 60s or on the 6th or the 6th month of June may be significant. I've also got mix. So you may have been listening to a mix lately. You may be mixed race. I've also got Tex, TEX, so it may be Texas, okay. I've also got Mex, so it could be Tex-Mex. You might know, you might be a really good chef when it comes to Tex-Mex. Okay. We've also got Cobs. I don't know why that's significant, but Cobs. You may own a farm. Specifically fucking corn. I've also got firm. So you may work for a law firm or something like that. I've got set. Rims. You may have just got rims. You may be getting them for the holidays. Sorry in advance if I just spoiled that one. Definitely have XCX out here. So sex is definitely on the fucking brain. I've got Rex as well. Sims. So you may be playing The Sims, are familiar with The Sims, or are gifting it if you're not receiving it. I've also got Boxer, which, you know, in layman's terms could definitely be the underwear, right? Boxers. It could also be a type of dog. It could also be a profession or hobby, right? If you're into boxing, maybe you just like watching it. I've also got the word soft. And COMET, comet. So the shooting star might be actual really significant because we had it in the star card and now it's coming out literally in words being spelled out. So comet is significant. I got Sir, SIR, and I've got sister, SISTER, spelled right out, including Mr. You might be talking to your sister from another mister, or have literally said that phrase lately. Okay. As far as potential locations, I got CO for Colorado. I got SOS. Someone might seriously be in a predicament. I've got TM, so someone might be working on trademark. I got RI, so Rhode Island. I've got FE out here too. I believe that's the abbreviation for iron. So someone might be dealing with iron deficiency or too much iron right now. I'm also getting pinged to liver. So you might have some kind of liver issue or be dealing with someone who does, or if you've been experiencing pains there, you might want to go get it checked out. I've also got Rife. So maybe you love Matt Rife and you've been listening to his shit lately. I've also got Strife, STRIFE, spelled outright. So someone could definitely be dealing with some crazy shit. Okay. As far as like SOS, Strife, and shit like that. I've also got SC, so South Carolina. That seems to be coming out a lot. I also got XO, so, you know, hugs and kisses. ME, that's Maine. And I've also got time, TIME. Maybe someone feels like they need more time or are running out of time. I've also got the name Tim. And Tom, for that matter. So Tom, Thompson, Tomlinson, right? Different names that are Tom. I've also got MO, that could be Missouri. I've got BET here, so it might be something you watch. I've also got the word rite, RITE, so it might be some kind of rite of passage or something like that that has been coming up lately, or that someone is moving through. I've also got the word crit, so something could be critical. Because if you're familiar with D&D like I am, crit can go two ways. It could be critical failure, or like you gotta confirm your crit and roll because you rolled a 20, right? Confirm your crit. So it might be a major or intense win or lose energy, right? The roll, you just might be on extremes right now. To be fair, I've even got extremes written out in the dice, minus a couple letters, but I've literally got extremes out here, EXTRMS. And I've got FIXER. We might have a fixer. Or someone who is literally trying or wanting to fix things. I've also got MSOTE, so smote. Smote. Somebody may have been energetically blocked. Like not just like real world blocked, like on fucking socials, like energetically blocked from connecting with you because they need to fix their fucking energy, right? Okay. MT, that could be Montana. Is that Montana's MT? Okay. I've also got IER, so Ireland, BC, British Columbia, Didn't Squire pop up in one of the charms last week? Because I got SQ. All I'm missing is the U, IER. So Squire is coming up again. I don't fucking know, y'all. Who the fuck needs that confirmation? But it's hella specific twice in a row. So, one more time. The letters that came out, take them as they resonate for you. I've got C, X, S, S, O, Q, Q, B, M, F, T, I, R, E. All right, so they may be very specific for y'all. Initials, first, middle, last name, or places that you live. All right. And that'll do it. If anything else pops out at me in the middle of the reading about these letters, I'll just randomly spit them out as I'm guided. Okay. All right. So that wraps it up for the charms. I knew that was going to be a long one. We're going to get into AstroDice now. So these are big three placements with the AstroDice. For you or a person that you may be resonating to this reading about. Okay. May also be the different things going on in the cosmos right now affecting your chart. Or synastry between you and another, for that matter. So I've got the Sun, Aqua, and 8th house. So you may be an Aqua 8th houser. You may have the Sun in the 8th house. You may be an Aqua Sun. 8th house is also Scorpio, so you could be a Scorpio. Aqua is the 11th house. The Sun is Leo energy. That's 5th house. So any combination of Leo, Scorpio, and Aqua, all of which are fixed signs, by the way. Okay. So you may even have some T-squares in your chart. You may have a Grand Cross in your chart, fixed or otherwise. Really fucking specific if you've got fixed squares inside your chart, regardless of fucking houses, because that's some challenging shit right there. Especially because we had the World card come out in the charms, and that's fixed sign energy. The only thing we're missing here is fucking Taurus. Taurus didn't come out in the charms at all. At all. Okay. But we did get Leo, Scorpio, and Aqua. We're talking 5th house, 8th house, 11th house. We're talking the Sun, Pluto, Mars, technically, because it's Scorpio's original ruler, and Uranus, but that's also Saturn, because Aquarius's original ruler was Saturn, and that came out with the World card as well. So big time fixed energy on the AstroDice. On the whole, this type of person if you had the sun in Aqua in the 8th house, if you're an Aqua sun in the 8th house, I think that you would be able to see into the soul scars of humanity and quite potentially be on a destined path to help heal that. Hello, Akash. This is not a personal reading, but it is a pleasure to have you. This is actually a collective message. All right. So hopefully whatever answers you're looking for, you will find it in the message as I go through it. All right. But yeah, I feel like with Sun, 8th house, Aqua, there's something that you inherit from humanity that you are also destined to heal, right? Especially when we're talking about inherited ancestral karma and things like that. So you may be someone like in your family line, like if certain karma has repeated over and over throughout the generations, like you would be a cycle breaker, right? You would be a cycle breaker. I also feel like the more you connect with humanity in that energetic mirror, right? Because Aquarius, just the symbol in and of itself is the high and the low vibration. It's an energetic state. And so it's what frequency you choose to connect with. What aspects do you want to shine light on, right? Literally being in your light or in your shadow, because Scorpio is probably one of the deepest, darkest shadows, next to Pisces. And the sun obviously is super, super fucking bright, right? So do you choose the high road or the low road when it comes to your energy? Are you feeding love and faith in your divine feminine energy, guiding you to your highest potential in this life? Or are you in fear state and trying to logic, reason, or manipulate your way through things to get what you think you want and need, as opposed to your highest good divine path, right? Because that's the big thing with the 8th house and Aquarian energy. I personally have Jupiter and Aqua in the 8th house, so it trines into my 12th house, so I'm pretty familiar with it. But this is how you would identify, right? Because the sun is kind of identification and soul passion and purpose. So you might want to really get in touch with community, because community would be what propels you forward the most, right? That's where you inherit, that's where you leave your legacy in the 8th house. I would be creative with community and being that kind of rebel thinker or that out of the box thinker, right? Because the shadow of Aqua is groupthink. The shadow of Aquarian energy is when an entire group decides to think the same thing, and because they all agree the same thing and this is the best way to do it, they don't allow for that individuality that is such a beautiful light when it comes to Aqua. You know, if you could imagine someone like me sitting in here with all my colors, you know what I mean? And then a whole wall of people like shoulder to shoulder, arms crossed, like that's not acceptable. You have to live in a black or white world. You know, it's either this side or that side. This is right or that is wrong. You know, and it's very, we all agree. And one person's like, but I'm completely different. You know what I mean? And there's a different way to go about this. There's a whole different perspective, right? You guys are seeing things in black and white. you know, these two different vibrations of light and dark, and you're accusing each other of being the other that you're not, you know what I mean? When there's a completely different way to look at it. And so being in the light of Aquarian energy is being that rebel, right? Being that rebel. So with that, I cannot believe I have already been chit-chatting with y'all for 50 minutes. We're just getting into the fucking Harrow. So guys, if this is not your message, it is not your message. Please do not force it to fit. Hold space for those to whom it belongs. And or go get your popcorn and enjoy the show, right? Or a glass of red wine. That came out in the charms too. So, you know, you do you, boo. You do you. We're going to get into this mirror energy, this reading. So let's clear y'all's energy first. Take a deep breath. It's just tarot, y'all. It's just collective tarot. It is to help guide you through things that you're already feeling and sensing, to clarify and validate for you where you are already at, not to fill your head with oh my gods and what ifs that are not there. Okay. So, all right. Put that to the side. Harrow. What is going on in the masculine and feminine energy at this time? What is going on in the masculine and feminine energy at this time? Mind you, regardless of gender, we are all yin and yang. We are all masculine and feminine energy. Sometimes one dominates over the other. To be fair, almost the entire world dominant masculine energy, and we've been taught to tune out or negate or dim our feminine energy. So masculine, feminine, y'all can take it as a counterpart reading if you would like. I'm not necessarily going to read the whole thing that way. But you can apply it that way. Okay. What's going on? What's going on? We've also got REM, so might be dealing with REM sleep, needing more REM sleep, or be listening to the band. Might have been one of your favorites growing up. Just looking at the letters over there. I've also got remote. I've literally got remote. REMOTE. REMOT. Yeah. So you may have the ability to remote view, or you are living remote from someone else, or there's some kind of distance, or you all literally have bicker and fights about remotes. I've got the Demon's Lantern on the bottom with the midwife on top. The masculine has the keep. The feminine has the owl. All right. All right. The midwife. The midwife is a neutral good wisdom card. Okay, it's the top of the deck, which means it is on the conscious collective of the energy. The midwife is a conduit to creation, although she does not create on her own. This halfling is a key that lets new life or information into the world. Her heart can see the good in even the worst situation. She can see the import of any new arrival. But if the card is misaligned, the new arrival will likely not inspire much joy, given none of these cards are misaligned. Okay, they're all in the upright right now. So the midwife, if you think about it, is like the feminine energy, right? The divine feminine. The divine feminine is a conduit for creation. She guides creation, but she doesn't actually create anything. The masculine does that. Our feminine is the receptive, I receive the experience that the masculine aspect of the self chooses energy. She lets, but the feminine aspect, the yin aspect of the self lets our mind know this doesn't feel good. Something doesn't feel right. This feels amazing. I want to keep doing this. This brought joy in, right? This is what I feel would bring long-term joy. So the feminine guides the masculine with feeling, but can't actually choose anything. All right. The masculine here's how we feel, here's how we intuit, and then chooses to either listen to it or negate it, right? Like when I was with my counterpart, for example, my counterpart and I were together, living together for 2 years, and it was on and off before that. And I realized one day, like, I don't actually like how I feel. My feminine aspect, my yin, was like, Grace, this does not feel good. You're stressed out. You feel like you can't be yourself. He's not taking the time to even really get to know you. Like, he doesn't even fucking know you. He doesn't even know you. Nor is he trying to after all those years. It doesn't feel good. He's talking to you like you're a fucking idiot. Like, and you're a piece of shit and you don't know what end is up from my ass because, I believe in things that he thinks is woo-woo bullshit. And I'm dead ass believing otherwise. I believe in the mirror. I believe in spirit. I believe in my divine connection, right? I believe in energy. I believe in connecting to other planes of dimension, right? I'm a mediumship, for crying out loud. And he's telling me I'm woo-woo whatever. And I'm like, it does not feel good to be in your mirror. It doesn't feel good to be around you at all. You don't even come to my defense or protect me against people who don't know me either, because you don't know me yourself, right? So when we start to get into this midwife energy, we're talking about how our feminine lets us know if we're in alignment with the reality or not. You can shoot me an email, Landon. You can shoot me an email. It's in the description, okay? Yeah, but this feminine energy, you could see the masculine in the background, kind of head and hands. Let me see if I can get my pin board. Okay, mind you, these are D&D cards, guys. They're a little graphic. This is an adult channel, okay? So she's holding the light in one hand and the child in the other, but the child looks cursed, obviously, right? And then the masculine is in the background crying. And it's like the mind, the masculine energy, doesn't realize that when it doesn't listen to the feminine, it creates what feels like a cursed reality instead of a light one built on faith. Okay. If the masculine chooses to negate or diminish or ignore the feminine energy within the self, chooses to ignore how it feels, ignore that it's stressed out, ignore that it's strapped, right? Ignore that it's high anxiety, ignore that it's walking on eggshells and tense, right? When we ignore the fact that we're fucking sad or longing for something different, and we just chalk it up to, well, this is my life. This is what I chose. This is who I am. I will never change. My life will never change. Well, then you damn yourself, right? That's cursed. That's cursed. We're talking about people being cycle breakers, right? Cycle breakers, karmic healers, right? Ancestral healers, that they would heal you would be the healer of your ancestral line, right? That you would not repeat. The only way for you to not repeat is to choose differently than what experience has taught you thus far, witnessing other people and experiencing other people. Like, just because people have been a certain way or taught you a certain way doesn't mean there's not a different way or a better way, right? The Demon's Lantern, which is the bottom of the deck, and this is the underlying issue, okay? This is the underlying issue. The Demon's Lantern on the bottom. Hey, Lala, how are you, beautiful? The Demon's Lantern is chaotic evil. That's the alignment, right? D&D. The midwife was neutral good. Okay, this is chaotic evil. The Demon's Lantern is the card of traps and tricks, sleight of hand and sleight of mind. These will-o-wisps and the man who sought their light represent an impossible or intractable situation. Okay. Okay, I'm getting a message with a download with this card. All right, so the masculine, right, which we see here on the top of the deck, is head and hands, very upset, right? Here, the man has been literally absorbed into the swamp because in the darkness, they were chasing after these little teeny will-o-wisps, right? These little lights, and got sucked down into the darkness. And I think that's indicative of realizing that we chase the potential in people while we're in our darkness. If you are in your dark night of the soul, you are chasing after someone's potential. That little light. You're trying to make it big like the daylight. You want to take that light and keep it and make it better, right? Make it bigger. You want it to help you through your own dark night. The problem is it's leading you into a trap. This is how the mind plays tricks on us. It's how our demons, right? The Demon's Lantern, our demons, our shadows, our fears, our karma plays tricks on us. Where we try and manipulate a situation, or we get lured into this idea that I can get what I want. Instead of trusting your feminine energy, trusting your feminine counterpart, right? I feel like someone made a wrong choice. And now they are in a situation where they chased someone's potential to the point that they are now drowning in their dark night. Thank you, Landon. I appreciate that. Someone's drowning in their dark night, right? An intractable situation. They feel like they can't get out of it and they can't go back, right? I think someone's realizing the mistake that they made, and then what they chose chasing after that light literally recreated the curse. Doesn't have to be a child, right? Because the midwife is just simply bringing something into the reality, and it's bringing in what the masculine energy, the mind, chose. So whatever you have chosen, right, your masculine energy within the self, your yang, whatever you have chosen is either going to yield a light, right, on this side, or yield the curse. And I feel like that's where people are, right? Regardless of gender. And I think that what we're going to be talking about in this reading specifically is to help the people who chose a cursed path by not aligning their free will with divine will and got really sucked into the I or the ego trying to control things, because to be fair, the ego runs off of fear state, it runs off shadow, it runs off wounds, it runs off of trauma, it runs off the fear of recreating trauma, which ultimately does in fact recreate that trauma. And I think someone is realizing wherever they are that they royally fucked up. Okay. And it's definitely concerning a living situation. We had the 10 of Diamonds come out in the micro playing card charms, and the keep is on the mind, right? The mind is the masculine on the mind of the masculine collective. So the keep is neutral good. It is a symbol of quiet strength, one that can move when necessary, yet stand firm through the greatest hardship. Those represented by the keep are not shaken by any force. If it's misaligned, it can mean giving way to temptation or falling in the face of greater strength. Okay. Now I said none of these cards are misaligned. So the keep quite literally can represent a home, but it can also move, and it is a quiet strength. Like, the way that I always looked at my home is a peaceful haven, right? That's the mantra. My home is a peaceful haven. If I don't feel at peace inside my own home, there's a fucking problem. It's my home. You know, when we look at a birth chart, there's 4 different houses of self, the home being the second one, right? We've got the first house that is the self. We've got the second, which is the 4th house, that is the house of home, that is the second defining of self. We've got the 3rd one, which is the 7th house of partnerships. It's how we define ourselves in partnerships. And then the 4th one is the 10th house, that is the house of career and reputation. It is the 4th definition of self. The keep is a representation of the self. If your home is dirty, if your home is cluttered, if your home is chaotic, if your home is loud and noisy and annoying, if your home is fill in the blank, how then, in the mirror of things, does that represent the state of yourself? How then does it represent a state of yourself? Even birth charts have different houses, right? It's like all the planets are hanging out in different rooms, having conversations with each other. Because this keep, the fact that I'm being drawn to the fact that it's very robotic, it's got all these mechanical arms and legs that can move around. It's also exuding a very toxic smoke, right? I feel like for someone, right, whoever this reading pertains to and is about, I feel like it's very robotic. I feel like it's very routine. I feel like it is very toxic. It's very predictable. I feel like whoever is in this energy, right, this intractable situation where they feel, really, the avalanche is under that. We just had a reading where the avalanche came out. Someone's going through they're going through revelation. Okay, someone's going through revelation in the middle of their dark night that they're fucking drowning and they need to get the heck out of wherever they're at because it's fucking toxic. Okay, layman's terms. I came with a warning, y'all. Okay. The feminine energy is the owl. So, and it's a wisdom card. The owl is true neutral. Okay, it's not chaotic, it's not lawful, it's not good, it's not evil, it's true neutral. Okay. It represents the eternal wisdom of the natural order. It is the harsh realism that causes a pack of wolves to cull the weak in the herd. It is tragic for the culled deer, but through such actions, the herd grows stronger. The needle the owl holds binds life together, but just as easily can pick that life apart. Okay. In other words, whether you feel blessed by light or cursed, the wisdom is to recognize that the masculine energy of the self chose it. Your energy chose it, right? If you chose to listen to your feminine and honor your feminine, your life is probably doing pretty good right now. If you got hung up on whatever shadow energy, whatever I, fill in the blank, want, need, blah, blah, blah. I hate this person. I wish ill on that person. I'm telling you right now, your life is probably fucked and probably getting more fucked as we speak. Okay. Like, it does not, like, if y'all don't understand curses, okay, words are fucking powerful. If you wish ill on somebody, or you lie about somebody, or you witness their success and are secretly upset because you wish that they were doing worse because you're accusing them in your mind of hurting you or betraying you in some way, the whole point of the mirror is to recognize how you have lied to and are betraying yourself, how you have literally hurt yourself. Not listening to your intuition, not listening to your feminine energy that asked you why the fuck you were choosing certain things that didn't feel good. Like, for an example, if someone loves you and you know they love you, but you're going to talk to them like they're a piece of shit because a part of you is scared they're going to wake up one day and realize that they're too good for you and leave you. One, self-fulfilling prophecy, you're going to manifest exactly that, because talking to someone like they're a piece of shit when they're a good person kind of sets you up for failure eventually. But you're denying the best parts of yourself. You're putting down the best parts of yourself. You're telling the best parts of yourself that they are insignificant and trash, right? That is the way you're treating them. What do you think that energy manifests? Hey, Rita, how are you, beautiful? How you doing? Yeah, someone hates. What if someone chooses an action because they hate, right? Fuck that person. I'm going to choose this and make them upset. I'm going to choose this and prove that I'm better than them. You notice how I'm saying I am going to choose this. I'm going to prove. I'm going to fill in the blank. Well, that's the masculine acting in alignment with low energy. High energy says, you know what? It's all divine. It doesn't matter to me what someone else chooses. I'm going to flow with spirit and go wherever spirit needs me to go. Right? Dear universe, whatever you would have me say, whatever you would have me do, if it's in the highest good of all, so be it. Right? That's how we thrive. When we detach from things that are no longer in our highest alignment. They might have been for a time, but there's a reason and a season for some people. Not everybody sticks around forever. And we're talking about counterparts and things like that, right? That people connect with the mirror. There is high energy and there is low energy. There are high choices and there are low choices. There are free will choices that we either align with fear or we align with the divine. Like, if someone gets back with their ex to fucking spite you, well, they're gonna have a shitty dynamic if that's the reason why they're doing it. If they're guided by love and it's true love and they've learned blah, 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 and they're changing, legit changing because they've gone through a healing process, that's one thing. You realize you fucked up a really good thing and you're literally willing to change in order to make it healthy, to make it better, to do whatever it takes to improve and elevate yourself. That's one thing. But if you're getting back with your ex to show your other, new ex, right, that you're going to treat them like trash, or you're not going to value them, and see, I'm going to give them everything you wanted just to spite you because you quote unquote hurt me. Like, that's an illusion. That's an illusion. People that go down that road hit dead ends. This person didn't just hit a dead end. They fell into a swamp and the avalanche is coming to bury them in it. You kidding me? For some of y'all, I'm straight up talking to you. For others of y'all, you're getting insight into the suffering of someone else who completely fucked up. They royally fucked up. Like, if they were literally doing things to spite you, if they were manipulative, if they were gaslighting, if they were controlling, if they didn't treat you the way you deserve to be treated, to the point that you fucking left and healed yourself and elevated and came out of that toxic situation and moved forward. But you're still, unfortunately, connected to their energy, right? Because high aligned contracts tend to do that, okay? Even if we are no longer connected to them energetically, we still feel their vibration. So, someone's beyond shit's creek, dude. Like, they're in shit's swamp and they're just drowning in this stuff. Remember how I was talking about earlier, the swamp of sorrow or the swamp of sadness, whatever it was that came out when I pulled the turtle charm from the never ending story? Think about that. The never ending story. Someone literally keeps getting stuck in the fucking swamp. Their sadness, right, literally drowns them. The sorrow is what drowns you there. Someone is literally letting their pain get the best of them. They're giving in and saying, that's it, I give up. I give up. I'm down and out. Life is horrible. I don't care anymore. I fucked it all up. I don't care anymore. That's the kind of shit that affects your fucking health. Right? We had the RN charm come out too. Like, this person is going to have to reincarnate. If this is where they're at mentally, and they're not willing to start trusting their fucking feelings, because they can pull their ass out of it. They can have faith. They can start to trust their intuition. They could say, this life feels like shit right now. I want to go back to what feels good. I want to make amends. I want to apologize. I want to shift. I want to own my bullshit. I want to express what I literally should have done better. I want to express what I never expressed before. Maybe I'll get vulnerable. Maybe I'll strip away the armor, right? We had that crazy letter T that kept coming out. The colors, the silver colors, literally stripping away. Maybe I gotta really look my demons in the face and tell them to go fuck themselves, because they're literally ruining my life. My life sucks. The divine is fucking fair. There is no such thing as coincidence. There is no such thing as chance. It's all fucking energy. It's all alignment. Either you align with divine will of your own free will, or you go your own way, and it's constantly teaching you that you should probably realign with the divine. Because the divine is unconditionally loving. And if it's not aligned with the divine, then it's fear state. Think about that. The divine is unconditionally loving. It gives you that choice. The presence of choice is the presence of love. But the divine has always hoped that you would choose it. Just because it allows you to choose otherwise doesn't mean it doesn't hope and pray and cross its fingers in unconditional love and infinite and eternal chances that you would choose to align yourself with divine will, with high energy, that you would trust in faith that the divine loves you and would never steer you wrong, that it knows more than you and your little feeble human mind ever would, right? The divine is trying to reach somebody. It's trying to tell them to get their fucking head out their ass. They were supposed to be a karma breaker. Just like y'all are karma breakers watching this. I guarantee you if you're watching this right now, you're a karma breaker. You break ancestral cycles. You're not repeating bullshit toxic patterns that you learned from your parents or whoever the fuck else was in your life. Like, you're the type of person that could have gotten cheated on but never became the cheater because cheating is fucking wrong. Where other people get cheated on and they're like, fuck it, everybody gets cheated on. I'll cheat, whatever. Everybody does. And they become the perpetrator. They become the cheater that hurt them. There's two different kinds of fucking people. There's two different kinds of people. There's people who become the people that hurt them, trying to seek validation or find reason for why they were so hurt, trying to validate it, to justify it. They become the perpetrator. That's one type of person, and the other type of person knows that shit's fucked up in hell or high water, will never be that. Never. They know that shit is fucking wrong. They don't need to validate it or justify it in any way. They know that shit is fucking wrong. They call that shit out and usually cut it the fuck out their life. I will never be that. Never. And they don't. And they don't. No matter how much abuse, damage, neglect, you name it, is in their reality, they will never stoop to that fucking low of a level. Never. They just trust their intuition a little bit more every fucking time they deal with it. That's a red flag. That's a red flag. And where the red flags used to get ignored, now those red flags are healthy boundaries. And people just say, nah, I've been there. I've done that. That red flag, I've seen that a couple times now. That's a hard line. I don't even fuck with that no more. I know I've reached that point with shit. Yeah, and the more you align with divine will, trust me, that shadow is going to come after you before you're out of its reach, because you will get out of its reach. You will reach a point. You will reach a point when the shadows can't touch you. When the shadows, the demons, and other people cannot touch you. Because you're just that solid in your self-trust, that solid in your divine, that divine alignment. Like, no, I'll never repeat it. Let's get some more insight. Let's dive deeper. These are my hand-drawn cards. I had fun with Sharpies a couple days in a row. My hand-drawn cards. All right. Clarify the keep with the masculine energy, please. And clarify the feminine. I fucking shit you not, dude. We're dealing with wounds on the bottom and the match on top. All right. Underneath the wound is the book. Okay. So we've got the wound and the match, top and bottom. The underlying issue is that people leave us wounded. The first being our mother and our father. After that, it's people that we idolize and look up to, that in their own wounds gave really horrible advice with the best intentions. Okay. People who do love us, but because they struggle with their own self-love and they struggle with their own wounding, have the best intentions and give horrible advice. We might idolize teachers. We might idolize other family members. We might idolize mentors. We might idolize celebrities. We might idolize instructors. Right, we were talking about the military earlier. We might idolize certain people of higher rank. Right, we idolize people that are more successful than us or as successful as we would aspire to be. And in their wounds, their behavior, best intentions, worst advice. Right, worst advice. And then someone comes along while we have all these fucking wounds and lights up like a match in the darkness. And all of a sudden, all the demons that were hiding in there are being seen. And you can't ignore the fact that you've got demons anymore, right? The light shows up. When we talk about the light showing up, the feminine came out with the sun and the star. And these two cards just came out in the last reading that we did for Sag. Literally just came out. The feminine came out with the sun and the star. The masculine came out because there are two sun cards in my hand-drawn deck. The masculine came out with the alchemy set and the eclipsed sun. The eclipsed sun. The eclipsed sun is where the moon covers the sun and we cannot see the light anymore. The moon is the feminine. The moon eclipsing the sun represents how our feelings or what we are intuiting is overriding the masculine need to control. The woundings need to control. Where the moon literally eclipses the ego, where the feminine eclipses the masculine. And says, you have no choice but to do as you are guided right now. You literally hit a dead end, and now you have to face how you feel. You cannot ignore it. You cannot bury it. You cannot lie about it and pretend it is not there. When this card comes out with the alchemy card, something has to fucking change. The lead has to turn to gold. Otherwise, it is so fucking toxic, right? The reality is so toxic. It's one of those realities where either you can't stop screaming, you manifest some kind of crazy physical ailment that stops you dead in your fucking tracks, right? Literally stops you dead in your tracks, or you can't fight back the fucking tears anymore. You just can't fight them back anymore. This is where people start to have a fucking breakdown. The eclipse with the alchemy set. The feminine holds the wisdom. That's the light. That's the healing. That's the direction, right? North Star. The feminine within the self knows the way. If the masculine energy, our shot calling, choice making ability, that yang part of the self, the action, if that part is fucking drowning in darkness, if it's drowning in darkness, the only way out is to listen to the feminine. It literally chose itself into a hole. It shows itself into feeling buried alive, right? That language of feeling buried alive. It is being buried by life. You're alive. Physically, your body is alive, but you're being buried. Just fucking buried. With a mountain, literally, of heavy shit. And you're probably screaming for help inside. Right? Whoever this person is, they're screaming for help inside. The feminine energy is screaming to be heard. Please listen to how you feel. Please listen. Please, 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 please choose differently. Please. We're either going to drown or we're going to suffocate. Someone is probably manifesting some kind of physical illness, unfortunately. They're probably actually physically sick. And they might be seeing synchronicities like 444 and shit to try and pull them out of it. Really, we got the keep here. And we got the castle here. And the charms. Like life, it's not a fucking fairy tale. Unless you choose it. It's not impossible to live the fairy tale, but you have to align with it. Prince Charming has to kiss Snow White to wake her up. He can't just sit there and stare at her from a distance thinking about how beautiful she is. Oh, I wish I could live with her in the castle. I wish she could have been mine, but it's too late. She's dead. It's too late. Look at how beautiful she is, never able to be mine, eternally asleep forever, forever apart. It's funny, it's just one action, just one kiss that brought it back, right? That brought her back from the dead. They got to live happily ever after. Sometimes the masculine energy within the self just needs to make one choice. The masculine aspect of the self needs to connect with the feminine of the self and let that connect in the outer. The inner reflects in the outer. If you are a masculine dominant counterpart, regardless of gender, and you're fucking suffering, you are one choice away from a different life. It's just one choice. The choice could literally be never again. Never again am I going to ignore my feminine energy. Never again am I going to ignore how I feel. Never again am I going to mistreat the people who love me and show that to me. Never again am I going to sabotage my joy. Never again. Never again am I going to be so fucking stubborn that I'm unwilling to change. Never again. Let your mind kiss your heart space and never let it die again. Never. Right? Never. Let's get some tarot into, this is going to be more specific into the insight going on. Okay. We're going to start with the Wild Unknown, and then we're going to get into the Prisma Vision Tarot. I'm going to pull some guidance at the end, too. Whether you're resonating as this person up Schitt's Creek or someone who may have dealt with this person and you know exactly who I'm talking about. Okay. Spirit, what is going on? What is going on? The Empress. first card flew right out. That's Taurian energy. So Taurus finally showed up, and we got Libra as well. That was also in the charms. We got the Eight of Wands. Yeah, the heart space, right? The feminine is the Empress. But the Eight of Wands is like lightning rod. Listen to me, right? That's spirit. The Eight of Wands is spirit trying to reach you. It's divine communication. The world to close something out. The World card is coming out in the cards now. It also came out in the charms. Okay. Clarities, please. Yeah, the feminine energy is communicating wildly with this person. Please, please, please close this cycle. Strong as fuck. The Empress is literally clarified by the Strength card, and these two energies, Taurus and Leo, are naturally squared. We're dealing with the Lilith square Uranus energy right now between Leo and Taurus. So, you know, feminine energy, loud as fucking hell. This feels like shit. Be humble, right? Because Lilith and Leo, the shadow would be ego and pride, not wanting to give up on something that's painful, right? Lilith in her shadow is self-abandonment, but Lilith in her light is liberation, which would be humble, right? Where Leo is, their energy is humble and grateful for the lesson, no matter how hard it is, right? So there's this challenge to radically shift the reality with Uranus and Taurus, radically shift the reality and liberate the self, right? To be humble. Clarify the Eight of Wands, please. What we got? I think I got all the cards. Yeah, we got the Lovers in reverse. With the Tower. The Two of Cups, the Daughter of Swords, and the Nine of Swords. Spirit, that Eight of Wands. Tower it. Tower it. It's the one choice, right? The one choice your ego does not want to fucking make. If it's leaving a toxic karmic partnership, because we got the Lovers reversed with the two of Cups. If there is a third party involved, Spirit with the Daughter of Swords is asking you, that's the Page of Swords, to go back to beginner's mind. Forget everything you think you know. What if everything you think you know is wrong? Tower it. Raise it to the fucking ground, right? R-A-Z-E, raise it to the fucking ground. It's a nightmare. It's a like, call a spade a spade. Even the charms, the Six of Spades with the Eight of Spades and the Ten of Pentacles, like, let it go. How do you let it go? I don't know how to let it go. You just fucking do it. You spit it out. You spit it out in clear as day. Very simple, basic bitch words. The Daughter of Swords, the Page of Swords, that is basic bitch words. I'm not happy. I don't want to be with you anymore. This doesn't feel good. It's not working. I don't know what solution we're going to come to, but we're going to have to come to one. We're going to have to accept that this is not working and give ourselves time to find a solution that works. Period. Lovers with the Tower and the Two of Cups, Nine of Swords, like, it's a fucking nightmare. You might need to reach out to somebody. Honest to God, if you've got a Daughter of Swords, especially if you're spying on them, which already tells you right now that you're still energetically connected to them or longing for them in some way, and you got to get over your fucking wounds and stop accusing them of being the one that wounded you. They didn't wound you. They brought it up to the surface. They brought whatever wound you buried up to the surface, right? That's what the match does. It puts a light and shines them on your demons, and the light irritates your demons. You might need to reach out to the person you're fucking spying on, which that in and of itself might be like crazy anxiety with the Nine of Swords. But it's the one choice you don't want to fucking make. Because your ego, your pride would have to get put to the side. You'd have to let yourself be humble. That's what this energy, this masculine energy is struggling with the most. Accepting the fact that they were fucking wrong and getting humbled. And they're suffering profusely for it. The more they put off closing this cycle, energetically, the more they're gonna fucking bleed. They're gonna fucking bleed. That wound is just fucking bleeding. Yeah. Yeah. Everything going on in the world on a macro scale is really mirroring what's going on inside the souls on individual levels. The masculine is at fucking war and it's falling apart. That's what's going on. Yeah, close the cycle. With clarities, we've got the Ten of Cups, the Emperor in reverse. Clarify it further. And the Father of Cups. Seven of Pentacles reversed. I feel like they got to close. The masculine has to close a cycle and not believing that they deserve the Ten of Cups. Believing that they don't deserve the fulfillment. That they're not choosing it. That they're not choosing it, right? Emperor is masculine energy. That's the mind, right? Regardless of gender, it's the mind. They're refusing to stand in that energy that recognizes that they deserve happiness. That they're the black swan. That they could be emotionally vulnerable. That they're not a failure, right? The Seven of Pentacles in some decks is literally the failure card. It didn't reap the reward. The efforts weren't put in. This is in reverse. You're not a failure, right? This is a belief system that's a problem. They're not closing a cycle on the fact that they deserve the Ace of Cups, that Spirit loves them and overflows to them unconditionally. They're not accepting that they are the ones blocking out their good life, their highest life. They don't realize they're the ones blocking it out. They might be saying, oh, well, God hates me. The universe hates me. Whatever is out there hates me. Well, life is just fucked up, right? They don't even believe in a higher power. Life's just fucked up. But that energy, that mentality, that perspective is literally blocking them. Like, I've been having this conversation all week. Us as individuals and Spirit are not separate. If Spirit is blocking us or life is preventing us, it's not something outside of ourselves that's blocking us. It's not a higher power or a stronger power than us that's blocking us from receiving abundance or happiness or whatever. It's us. We choose not to heal. We choose to believe that we don't deserve better. We choose to punish the self. We choose to suffer and negate the feminine energy, right? To double down on the Ten of Wands, which is burden, taking on the crosses of other people and weighing ourselves down to the point that we're unhappy. And then saying, well, I have to carry these crosses for these people, right? The fucking martyr. Like, where's the fucking violin? You only get this lifetime once. Why the fuck would anybody want to spend it sad? Why would anybody want to spend it struggling? Why would anybody want to spend it stressed out or dealing with fucking physical illness? Like, why? You got to defend your light. The Seven of Wands on the bottom. The Mother of Swords. Like, what's your heart's truth? That's the feminine's truth. Take all of your wounded emotions out of it. Take all of your sexy chemistry, passion out of it. Take all of your material ties and material excuses out of it. What the fuck is your heart's truth? Because that's what needs to be listened to. If you're fucking miserable, you're fucking miserable. Who fucking cares about the goddamn house? Let them have the fucking house. You know? If your job is fucking god awful and you are literally suffering and stressed out every time you go in there, to when you're coming home, you're fucking down in a bottle of whatever the fuck it is just to take the quote unquote edge off, you might need to go find a new fucking job. You're miserable. Stop chasing the promotion they're never giving you. Stop chasing the raise that they'll never give you. Right? Apply it however it applies, because our masculine and feminine energy is authentic to each and every one of us. If you got this lifetime and you only get to live this lifetime once and time doesn't fucking go backwards, how do you want to live it? When you look back on your life, how do you want to live it? Are you going to regret the choices that you made? Or the choices that you didn't? Because I might make regrettable choices in life, but if I learned from them, then I really can't regret it. But the choices that I didn't make, the what ifs, the question marks, now that's regrettable. That's really regrettable. You got to stand up for your fucking self. You got to go after what you want. And I'm not talking about specifics, what you want. I'm talking about if you want to be happy, if you want to be at peace, if you want to feel fulfilled, if you want to feel content, if you want to feel stable, right? Go after what you want to feel. The things naturally come along with that. Spirit brings it in. You want to feel stable and you take all the specifics off. Spirit, if you do as you're guided in alignment with what feels good and you keep following that feel good, it's going to come in. It'll be perfect for you. For some people, stability will be the best fucking job ever. It doesn't even feel like working and it pays them great money. For some people, it'll literally be like hitting the fucking lottery. For other people, it'll be the most beautiful partner who loves you unconditionally and gives you that stable life that you've always wanted just for being yourself, your authentic self. And they're taking care of the financial aspect of things, doing what they love, loving that you're in their life to make it better for them. And it's great, right? Stability can come in all kinds of forms. Stability might be living off the land and not having to deal with worrying about supermarkets and whatever the fuck else. Maybe you have a really stable life that is in alignment with you. Living off grid, right? Everybody has a different idea of what stable is. Allow yourself to choose it. That's the whole point. Close cycles on bullshit. If you've got to make the hard choice to separate yourself from a toxic soulmate because it's a fucking nightmare, then damn it, just make the choice. Definitively make the choice. Have that conversation and then let the chips fall where they may. I promise you they'll fall into place. They'll fall into place so fucking fast because Spirit will be so fucking excited that you actually chose it. I'm personally hella fucking single. I know the right person is out there for me somewhere, I'm sure. I am sure that when it is meant to connect in that way, that it will. I trust Spirit. I fall in love with souls. The right soul will align themselves with me at the right point, right? And that's just the kind of mentality you have to keep it in mind, right? If you're single, regardless of who you think your counterpart is or not, like, When you're in your own high energy and you're in your own high alignment, people line up to meet you there. People line up to meet you there. And the more you keep turning the shadows down, the more you keep recognizing that those red flags that are now healthy boundaries, right, are solid, and you don't cross them. You don't allow people to get that intimate with you, that vulnerable with you, where they're sharing life with you, and they haven't met you on that side of the line yet. Right? It's like, I'm sorry, like we can be friends. I got that soul recognition with you. I probably was in love with you in a past life, but the fact of the matter is, I need you on my right. I need you on my level. Like, I'm straight edge as shit, right? I'm straight edge. I don't smoke, don't do pills, I don't drink. I don't do any of that shit. Am I going to be with somebody who drinks? No. 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 I'm going to pull a guidance card after I'm done with Prisma Vision. So we'll see what comes out with this. Whatever is meant to come out will come out. Let's get a timestamp here. All right, Prisma Vision. What else do we need to know about the situation, Spirit? For those who needed to connect with this message. I'm looking at the letters and I got fiber. So if someone's constipated or some shit, you got to let, metaphysically, right? Metaphysically, we talk about Louise head. You need fiber and you're constipated. Like, you need to let go of all that shit backed up there. You got to let go of all the shit you've got backed up there. Hey, Lorraine, how are you doing? Wonderful. I hope he's doing lovely. He's so darn adorable. Yeah, I'm still up. I'm up mad late. I'm up mad late. It was yesterday when I started. What is going on, please, Spirit? We're jumping timelines here. What else is going on? Okay. Someone could definitely be overindulging in some kind of escape, whatever the escape is, okay? Whether it is, and we were just talking about it, right? Drugs, alcohol, that might be a pattern in the family. But they have this opportunity to love themselves with the Four of Chalices, but they're missing it. Right? They're too focused on that 3D reality that their emotions are attached to. We got the Devil here with the Five of Chalices. If they don't recognize the pattern that they're chained to, thanks, I love this hat too. If they don't recognize the pattern that they're chained to, if they don't recognize the karma, right, that they've attached themselves to, it's going to end up in grief and loss. All right. And we're already aware of that. Yeah, the Three of Swords, Ten of Chalices, Four of Swords, Two of Chalices. They need a break. There's a soulmate causing grief. And the devil that they're dealing with right now is stagnation. Putting it off, procrastination. The devil with the Four of Swords. They might be having fucking nightmares. Their unhealed wounds, their 12th house wounds. Their reputation. How they want other people to see them. They're missing the Four of Chalices, that opportunity for the Ten of Cups. It's out twice now. They're either drinking their pain away or they're super confused inside their pain state and they're just procrastinating. They're just trying to get through another day. Just trying to get through another day. King of Swords on the bottom, Nine of Chalices on top. They really do got to align with the higher perspective of things. They got to find gratitude and start visualizing and feeling the energy of their wish fulfillment. Because if they're lost in this sorry, sad energy, and that's what they're feeling, then they're not taking time to visualize something better and actually feel what it would feel like to feel good again, right? To feel at peace again or feel loved again, right? Or imagining what it would be like to be loved for the first time even, you know, or to let themselves be truly in alignment with love for the first time, because some people have received love and some people have given love, but not simultaneously, right? They might have been receiving love from the right person, but they were giving love to a different person, and that person was the wrong person, not giving back to them. You know what I mean? So like, they have to really be able to sit in the energy of feeling what it would be like to give their best loving actions to the person that gives their best loving actions to them, right? Reciprocity. They really have to sink into that energy and meditate on that energy and kind of swim in those feelings and know that if they can feel it, that it's possible. If they can visualize it, then it's possible, right? Then it's possible. You wouldn't, if you can't visualize it, if you can't feel it, then it doesn't resonate with you, and you're not meant to do that, right? Everybody's journey is different. I feel like someone is really sleeping on the opportunity to love themselves right now. And if they're catching this message, get out of your own way. Get out of your own way. Like, snap out of your sorry shit. And if this is not your message, but you know who it's about, like, hold space for them and move on. Do not hold your breath for this person. Right now, there is nothing in these cards telling me that they're actually going to step up. This is not the kind of person who would rather die standing than die on their knees, right? This is a person who is literally on their knees begging for death because they don't have the fucking balls to stand up and live. Don't hold your breath for this person. Okay. Move forward and live your self. Hold space in prayer for this, but do not get caught up in their energy, especially if you could still feel it. Especially if they are wishing some kind of ill on you or are pissed off, spying on you because you're doing better than they are and they wanted you to suffer without them. And they don't even realize how fucking toxic that is. Like, how could you say that you love somebody, but then get pissed off when they're thriving, even if it's without you? Like, for real. Like, I don't hold any animosity against any of my exes. I hope they all end up thriving. I hope they all end up happy. I hope they all end up finding somebody that they love who loves them. Like, I hope they live their best life. I'm not going to get pissed off because I see someone happy. They weren't for me, or we'd still be together. So why would I be upset? Yeah, like, why would I be upset? It just made room for me to find my person, no different than it made room for them to find their person. Like, people who sit there and get angry that someone else is thriving without them. They need to ask themselves why. Why are they upset? Because it's not what that person did or didn't do. It's their wounds that that person's triggering. Let's pull a guidance card. Where's Rumi? Where's Rumi? I'm telling you, y'all, I've got there we go. Too many decks. All right. Rumi has been found. Okay. The audio is skipping. Hopefully it goes back to the way it should. It is Mercury retrograde. So last time I tried to correct it, it literally cut off the live. So hopefully it comes back to the way it should. Good. Let me timestamp this. Rumi. Spirit, what guidance would you have for the individuals resonating with this message? No matter what side of the dynamic ships they fall on. What card above all others at this time? What card above all others at this time? A new gown. Card number 18. All right. So it starts with a poem, which I'm going to save for the end. But there's a channeled message that Alana Fairchild gets from Rumi, and then her interpretation of the card. I might skip around in the interpretation a little bit, but I am going to read the channeled message from Rumi. Okay. Rumi says, I have the perfect gift for you. It is a gown of new colors, of colors perfectly suited to you and no other. The colors of this gown will make your eyes sparkle and gleam as though they were more beautiful than the most precious of gems. The colors of this new gown will make your skin seem luminous as if lit from within. For of course it is, beautiful angel, your complexion is radiant with the light of life. Your hair will shine with luster, and your entire being will be complemented by this gown as it enhances your beauty in all ways. So hold on no longer to that shabby, tattered cloak so unworthy of you. Cast it off. Let me grace your shoulders now with this royal robe instead, that you may shine beautifully as befits a royal child of divine parentage. It's about stripping away the old and worthless person that we've believed ourselves to be. That impoverished energy of lack mentality. Whether that lack is financial lack or happiness lack or love lack or confidence lack or fill in the blank, right? Lack. Where we come from impoverished victim mindset. Where we feel like we have no home, right? That shabby, tattered image. We have no home, no place. We're talking about the keep, right? Home is where the heart is. The heart is the feminine. If you want to feel at home, peace within the self, that it would reflect in a peaceful home in the outer, you need to cast off this idea that you're unworthy of it. Right? So, Alana says, Ah, beloved, if you could only see the incredible gift, the symbolic robe being offered to you now, your fears would quake and tremble, disappearing more quickly than you could imagine. Your heart would take wings and become so light your entire being would lift clean off the ground and soar like an angelic bird amongst the playground of the Divine Mother's skies. All right, Lorraine, love you. See you later. Yet like a young one, so much younger than your years and wisdom warrant, you may hold on to your tattered robes as though they were a security blanket. Though you know it is time to let it go, you may take pause and have a moment of doubt. You may wonder if the new robes will descend swiftly enough, or that without what you have known to cling on to, you will be left stark naked, exposed, and vulnerable. These thoughts are not worthy of your status, but perhaps you are yet to realize you are of the most sublime royal lineage, that you are worthy of a cloak of galaxies, a crown of stars, a body of sacred earth, and a voice of stirring music. You may be craning your neck to see who it is that can bestow permission upon you to receive such a gift of dignity, in whom is such authority vested that you may no longer be as the beggar asking for scraps and contenting yourself with the stale breadcrumbs given to you. You may simply decide to shed that. Stand up to walk with your head held erect and with regal grace and assume your place at the table of divine feasting. Remember that your royal birth certificate is stamped in your heart. There is no authority required, no permission to be granted by some divine source outside of yourself. You are what you are already and always have been thus. All that is required from you is to realize it. This oracle comes to you with sacred portent. You are fast approaching a moment of a great leap, an evolutionary shift on your spiritual path. Your sense of yourself and your divine identity is about to be revealed and realized in a way more potent than ever before. And this is wonderful. It is a divine happening. You just need to allow it. Do not confuse humility with humiliation. Do not confuse humility with humiliation. And do not humble yourself excessively. You do not have to battle with false pride either. Simply honor yourself as a living being worthy of life, worthy of the royal path of divine realization. What a gift it is to cast aside belief in inferiority or superiority, unhelpful as those notions are for you now. What a gift instead to embrace your own path, irrespective of what any other may think, whether they hold it in glory or derision. Who cares? Not you, nor I. Your heritage has been revealed, and in seeing the divinity within yourself, you become blessed to see it in all beings returning to the realization of their royalty within. Crazed searching outside of the heart will come to an end. A simple golden path will be found, as though a river of molten gold flows from your heart back to the oceanic heart of the great beloved. Where united again, you finally ascend to your throne and claim your divinity once and for always. This oracle comes to you with sacred guidance. You are stepping into empowerment in a new way, and it is to be honored. Do not allow yourself to be dragged into dramas and power games. You are worth so much more than that. You are tapping into your inner dignity, and others may not know how to respond. Some will respond with love and acknowledgement. Others with fear and judgment, calling you too big for your boots or high and mighty. Those are voices of fear, not truth. Be in your dignity and power and keep going. It is the divine that urges you thus, not the ego. Do not doubt the changes happening within you now. Embrace them. You can't move forward as the new person and hold on to the old person. You can't sit here and want your best life and still be an under par version of yourself, still locked inside your wounded space with toxic habits that never benefited anybody. Understand and recognize when it talks about royalty, right? That you are the emperor, you are the empress, you are the high masculine and the high feminine, capable of choosing and living, receiving your best life. What the fuck is worth getting in the way of that? What temptation? What toxic addiction? What unworthy thought? Like no one is standing in your way but you. Forever, now, and always, you are the only person either in your way or paving the way. Like you choose what you want. You choose what you want. And don't settle. Hold your vision. Thanks. Hold your vision. Know what you're worth. Know what others are capable of. And that when you don't settle for their lesser versions, they got to bring their healed version forward. That means you giving them a choice. And choice, the presence of choice is love. That's what love is. Because if you don't have any fucking choice, that's not love. That's having no choice. No choice is imprisonment. Give people the choice to elevate to where you are and be a part of your best life, or to choose a different path. And that's fine. Either way they choose, it's fine. They find themselves in a swamp drowning one day, well, they'll realize they coulda, shoulda, woulda made a better choice. It's just life. It's just lessons. We're all here figuring it out. That's why you don't harbor shit against people. Like people either make their highly aligned choices or they don't. Personally, I'm rooting for someone right now to make their high aligned choices. I'm rooting for a few people to make their high aligned choices. But if they don't, that's okay. I'm still going to make mine though. I'm not going to put off my high aligned choices or my high aligned path because someone else chose not to ride it with me. That's fine. I wish everybody nothing but the best, you know. Hold that. Some people are meant to move forward and some people aren't. Stay humble, but not so much so that you forget who the fuck you are and your power. Don't give your power away to other people that hurt you. Whether they're still in your life or were in your life for a time. Take all your power back. Claim that shit. It's yours anyway. It's your power anyway. Whoever wounded you, take your power back. Trust your own self. Trust your own self to do as you're guided. It doesn't matter what anybody fucking says. It doesn't matter what anybody fucking thinks. They're on their journey. It doesn't fucking matter. It's your journey. It's your life. Whoever you are, wherever you're at, what do you actually want to experience that you would never regret choosing it? Like an example, I used to be a fucking pothead. I used to be a pack-a-day smoker. My son didn't like it. I could live a life where my son always resented me for addictions, to where I might have had health complications later, right? Pack-a-day smoker. I could have chose that life to stress out my son or damage my relationship with him. Or I could just fucking quit them and choose a life where my son and I are happy and he respects me and appreciates me and I'm there for him and he knows his worth and he feels valued and important. Like someone gives a shit about him because I do. So I did. And just making that choice, I quit them both cold turkey. It's just a choice. I'd rather live that life with my son than the latter or the previous. However, Mercury retrograde would have me say that. I would rather live happily with my son and have a healthy relationship with my son and teach him that he's worth it. That peace is possible. That a healthy, peaceful home is possible. That his feelings matter. I would rather teach him that and be sober and be high on life. Which is also why I won't cross this line for anybody else coming into my life either. You know, you figure out what works for you. What works for you might be different than what works for me, might be different than what works for somebody else. But at the end of the day, whatever you really want, you always got to choose it. I couldn't sit there like Prince Charming looking at my son just dead to me, you know what I mean, in the coffin and not take action to wake that life up. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've been working on self-love since the day I was born. It's kind of my purpose here. Hardcore. Yeah, and I have. I'm happy. I wish everybody the same. You know, I want everybody to find that peace. I want everybody to find that abundance. I want everybody to find that gratitude. Like, the only tears I cry anymore are grateful ones. There was a time in my life where you couldn't catch me dead crying a grateful tear. Right. Now it's the complete other way around. So I hold love and space for all of you guys. I hope that the more you continue to stick around me in the channel, that maybe the beautiful light rubs off a little bit. You know, one candle lights another candle and loses nothing. So I'll shine here as long as y'all need me here. Spirit will keep guiding me to it. I don't doubt that at all. That's why I'm always here. Spirit's always guiding me. So with that, guys, I am going to wrap this up because I was guided to do Scorpio tonight too. And it's already almost 2 o'clock in the morning and we're still going. So I will be back in just a few minutes. I'm going to clear all of this off and get ready for Scorpio. So I will catch y'all in a few. Thank you to everybody. Take care.